This conference will now be recorded.
Fine. So, do you have any background idea of what the tool is, and do you have any background idea of any database or Oracle or anything with respect to the SQL and anything? Have you ever heard about anything? Hello?
Yes, sir. I have knowledge with the SQL and some
Mm-hmm.
Linux commands.
Mm-hmm.
I just started learning Linux scripting.
Okay. Fine. So, so let me start with the practical scenario, like where we get this tool, and so this tool comes as an ETL tool. We call it the term data stage. Uh, we call it as an ETL. ETL in the sense like extract, transform, and load. In layman terms, like pull something, do something, and keep it set someplace. So in a layman term, so let's see like why we need this tool, and in real time how we will be using this tool, and what are the market, are the opportunities in the market. So these kind of things we can go have a quick glance. And if you see the sheet here, uh, right. So let's assume you have some retail store business like a Reliance Trust kind of business in a different locations in the city. So let's start from a scratch point from a very small store. You're maintaining a business. In one book, you're gonna maintain the list of products you're buying at what cost and how many products you bought, and you're listing in a account book. And in another book, you're making a note of all the products what you're selling. Okay, so we have two books. One is the one which contains the information of buying, and one contains the information of selling. Okay, so at the end of every month, you're gonna calculate everything, and you're gonna see like how much profit you got. So I hope you understood the scenario, right? So this is a very layman scenario which happens in every business, right? Hello, hello,
Yes, sir. That happens in every business. Yes.
every business. So if the business scale got increased, okay, if the business scale got increased, and apart from the profit and loss, you want to see some other information like what product is doing well and what product is not doing well, then you want to see every each and line of the entry in the sales book, and you're gonna come up with a stat, right? So this product was sold this many times in a day, so this product was not sold in completely for a week. So you're gonna find some analysis by looking at the stats, and you're gonna come to a conclusion. Yes, so this product like the bread and jam were not got sold for the complete week, so we shouldn't order this. So these kind of business decisions are made in even a small business, right? So if the same thing is happened at a higher level, let's assume there is a chain of multiple supermarkets at different locations at different stores. Uh, so at that time, what happens is like if you take the similar scenario, so what you guys will do if you go to a supermarket, you take a bunch of items, you'll carry it to the sales counter, and they will scan some code, and they will make an entry, right? You do that, right? Every now and then. So what happens is like it's like very low level of information for every bill, and for every customer who entered into the store, the information will be captured. So earlier these kind of things were maintained through some books, but right now these things are being captured using the scanner machine, and we call that machine as POS, point of sales. So through POS, we are getting the entry of data of products into the system, right? Then what happens? These we have these kind of stores in different locations in the city, and it's being suppose like let's make it a limited one. So these kind of 10 to 15 stores are located in and around Hyderabad. So by the end of the day, every day, the owner needs to know how much profit he made. But the information is completely scattered, right, at different locations at very low level of information he had. See, he doesn't need like, oh, that store had how many deodorants were sold. He doesn't need it. He needs a very higher level of information, like the what is the profit percentage, this kind of information. So if you have a bigger business and if you have a smaller data, then there needs to be some connection between all these stores, right? So that you can make a bigger decision by looking at the summarized data, right? You following, or you missed at any point?
No, no, sir. We are following.
You're following, right? So what happens is like, so this information, like one store has some thousand records. So these 10 location stores will be sending 10,000 records. So this information is stored at one place in an ordered way. So in an ordered way. So when this information is stored in an ordered way, then we look at the data and then we are going to make a decision, right? So there are two things. We are extracting the data from different store and then we are transforming and then we are loading. So that's what, right? So you extracting part you understood, like you're extracting from different store. So why you need a transform? Why you need a transforming? So let's see if you think about scan. Suppose like there is a Hindustan liver product of toothpaste which you got, and see while you scan, there is a very good chance of getting uh, some extra data, right? There can be a chance of getting some special characters. There can be a chance of scanning only three to four kind of thing, right? Instead of full name, there is a chance of getting three to four characters only, right? So there is a chance of having uh, data as bad data. So a good data and bad data combination can be there, or a data can be a bad data where which needs to be transformed to a good data, and then it needs to be stored. So there is a data level of transformation which you have applied, okay, where a bad data is removed and good data is captured, and you are loading into a central database or central system where it has information of all the stores. So for this purpose, we have, see, you can have a question like, we can do insert and select in a SQL query. Then why we need ETL tool? So that is one of the basic question people ask. See, let's assume one of your store is performing at a very high level. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, what kind of data is known as like bad data and good data?
Yeah. So if you're scanning something like Pepsodent kind of thing, it got, okay. Case one. Apart from Pepsodent, you can have some special characters also, right, while scanning. There is chance of getting special characters also, right, while scanning.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is one kind. Suppose like in one of the store, the format of date is YYYYMMDD. Okay. And in
Mm-hmm.
other store, it is coming as DDMMYYYY. Both the kinds of dates are correct, but we need to maintain only one format of date, right?
Yes, sir.
In order to get a complete overview, we need to maintain a common way, or we're converting into a common format, like the for the dates. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you understood, right?
Yes,
Let's
sir.
take one more global scenario where you have a chain of stores in different countries, where then the revenue information like in euros that needs to be converted into your dollars or Indian rupees kind of thing. So that is one kind of scenario. That is business level of transformation. So this is data level, that is we did a cleansing, we call it with a term called cleansing, data cleansing. We are removing the bad data and we are getting the good data and storing. And there is the other example I said to you, formatting, right? So we are converting into a standard format. Okay, so these rules will be defined. like what is the format, and suppose like you have that issue, like if you are scanning a Colgate one, you are going to get three dots after Colgate. So this is the rule. So a person first initially looks like scanning machine and see, okay, we have these issues with the data. So for every Colgate paste, you need to apply the rule like remove the dots after Colgate. So these rules will be applied, and these rules will be transferred into a common format by removing the bad data, and these will be loaded into a common repository. Repository in the sense which is having everything. And the other question I raised is like, if you have SQL, why you need an ETL tool? See, uh, one of the stores performing very low at very so we don't even have uh, any aspirations to improve it, but we know the business is risky, so we are just maintaining the things in an Excel. Okay, we are just maintaining the things in Excel because maintaining everything in a database is costly, and we don't have that much business in that store, so we are maintaining even in an Excel. And the rest of the 4 to 5 stores we are maintaining, which is having a very high end data, and so we are using some costly database system like Teradata kind of thing. And at a lower level of stores, suppose like we are maintaining at a Hadoop system or HDFS system or in a DB2 system kind of thing. So there are heterogeneous sources. There are heterogeneous sources of different kind. So in order to connect these heterogeneous sources, we need to have a mechanism which can interact with all these heterogeneous sources and pull the data and keep it in a common format and load into the whatever the target we need. So for that purpose, we need an ETL tool to interact, which can interact with heterogeneous systems. So the ETL tools in the market is like DataStage or Talend or Informatica. So we have many tools. So DataStage is being product of IBM, and which has a variety of which can support variety of tools, and right now 11.5.2 version is the latest version. So every version is having a new features and new set of real-time sources that are being added. So for this purpose, people are going with DataStage, and it is income. So the market is also in parallel with Informatica. So these two are the uh, toppers of ETL tools in the market. So Informatica and DataStage right now, and there is a good trend for Talend also right now. So so this is the background of ETL tool. So so I said I gave you a simple example. So what are the terms we have? So we started like different locations. So different locations will be having different servers, and we have a centralized server where the data will be coming from different servers after applying the transformation rules like the data rules, and they will be getting loaded into a centralized system. So there is a centralized system. So what the purpose of centralized system? Why we need that centralized system? I already told you. So anyone, and you can replicate why we need that centralized system.
To have a common data.
Yes, and I gave you an example. How a product is performing, in the sense we need to know how it is performing at every store level, right?
Yes, sir.
And then we aggregate it, and we are going to get how it is performing on a global level. So the business decision making people wanted to know the information at a higher level. Okay, for that purpose, we will be using a centralized database which contains the information from collected from heterogeneous database, where the information is converted into a common format which best fits into the centralized database. Okay, and the centralized database, it should be designed in such a way that it supports aggregated data or summarized data. As you are aware of SQL, so the grouping operation should perform as much as faster, so that people can so that they can view the decision, they can view the reports very easily. So for that purpose, we need a centralized repository system, and we call it as a data warehouse, and it is not a bookish definition. Till now I didn't touch any part of the bookish definition, just I want to showcase the real-time environment to you. So I came with a real-time example, so you understand like what is a data warehouse now.
Yes, sir.
So a data warehouse is a repository containing data from different sources in an aggregated format. Okay, that is the definition. You need to make a note of it, the definition. And second thing, what is a warehouse? If we go with the layman term, warehouse is the thing. So people think like, oh, what is a warehouse? It's a heap. So what is the difference between a warehouse and a heap? Heap in the sense, we keep all the useless things in a gathered at some place. We call it as a heap, right? So what is the difference between a warehouse and a heap? Anyone? Why people call it as a warehouse?
Heap is like everything is characterized, and there will be different categories of heap data. But in warehouse,
See,
it's like
let's take a let's take a live example. If in a parking lot the cars are not parked in a proper manner, is it possible to pull one car out? No, right? If it is not parked in a proper format, we can't bring or we can't keep. In the same way, a warehouse should be in an organized manner. So if you go to any medical shop kind of thing, he will be keeping everything in an organized manner so that whenever he want anything, he will go and pick it from there, right? So a organized heap is called a warehouse, where you can access anything easily, you can identify anything easily, where you can keep anything or you can select anything from there easily. So that is the difference between a heap and warehouse. It should be a more organized one. Okay. So apart from this warehouse, we added data warehouse. So the thing is, the data should be in an organized way, where it can be identified for selection and it can be identified for making any decision, right? So that is the definition of a data warehouse. So there are a number of bookish terms. We can go ahead with the data warehouse topics. So there are can someone mute if you don't mind, if you're not speaking? Okay, thank you. And second thing, so we have these are the tools in the market, and we are going with the data stage ETL tool. So till now it is fine. Hello, till now is it fine?
Yes, fine.
You understood, right? Okay.
yes, sir.
So I said two things. One is the local store, and the other one is central repository, right? So in the local store, if you buy something, and there is a chance like a consumer came after 2 hours and he said, I don't want this product, I want to replace the product, or the product is not good, I want to give back my project my product. So there is a chance if a person buys a new product, there is a record entry with the product information and customer information. Suppose like if he changes the product, then we are updating that record, right? If he's returning the product, then we are deleting the record, right? So the server which is at store level, it should support the transactions, right? What is a transaction? Which can be easily added, which can be easily edited, which can be easily updated, or which can easily remove. So the database should be in such a format like it can be easily inserted, updated, deleted. So that kind of database should be there at the store level. So what is the store level data? It's a transaction level data, right? So the store database should be designed in such a way that it should support all the transactional scenarios. And what is the database at the data warehouse level? It should support the aggregations. See, we are not going to update many things, right? Which is there in the data warehouse repository. So just we are aggregating, we are summarizing. So it should support the SQL in such a way that the SQL runs faster and gives report as soon as possible. So for that purpose, usually if there is a chance of using two databases like Oracle or Teradata, go with Teradata in case of data warehouse and make your old ACP systems with Oracle. Okay, so there's a Teradata supports more of aggregation kind of data. Okay, so that's the thing. So you should be choosy. So we call the data warehouse as online analytical processing system. What it is? OLAP system. So what is the data at the store level or transaction level? We call it as online transactional processing system or OLTP system, right? You understood the difference? OLTP versus OLAP. OLAP should support aggregation, OLTP should support transactional data. So if you see the level of data or the volume of data, if you see for a store level, if you compare at a company level, the volume is less, right? So the volume of data in OLAP system is high, the volume of data in the OLTP system is low. So this is one of the definition which people will be asking in any interviews. If you go, what is the difference between OLTP system and OLAP system? So the first one is the volume of the data, and second thing is it supports aggregation, it supports transactional data. Okay, these two are the key differences between the OLTP and OLS system. So what does OLTP system do? It supports inserts, deletes, and updates, and it records the transactions. So aggregated data, which is mainly used for decision making. Okay, so you can ask like, so how this high level people may know uh, what decision to take by looking at the SQL query result, what we execute, or what the transactional sorry, what the aggregated data which we get from data warehouse. So those people don't understand the terms or figures, right? Those people don't understand the figures. So what those people will do is this data is being converted into charts. So can you people understand pie chart, bar graph? Have you ever heard? Have you worked on it in math? Yeah, in before in seventh or eighth classes kind of thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So same kind of graphs are being uh, calculated based on the data which we get from the data warehouse. So those graphs, we don't say graph in a layman term, we call it as a graph. We call it with a term called dashboards. What it is? Dashboards. So based on the dashboards, people will be looking at the data, the management people, and they will be going making decisions. So this aggregated data should be in such a format, like it should support the graphical representation also. So that's why we have many reporting tools also, right? Have you ever about Tableau or Cognos kind of thing? So what these will people will do is these people work on the data warehouse data and pull the reports. Got it? So we have set of tools like ETL plus reporting combination. So these reporting combination people will generate the reports. Okay. Are you clear with this part? So now you know where the ETL people will be working and where the reporting people will be working. So we call the reporting with a different term called BI, business intelligence. What it is? Business intelligence. Okay, you understood this part?
Sir,
Till
Yes.
now it is clear.
who are called BA?
So the reporting people are there, right? See, we are storing the data till data warehouse, and then we are calculating the reports, and the reports are being seen by management people, right? So the reporting team who work on the generating the reports, okay, they are called as BI team, business intelligence team. Okay, now people are earlier it should be like ETL plus BI, but now the expectation is like ETL guy should know at least some part of BI, and some part of BI, the people should know some part of ETL also. A combination of ETL and BI will be very good in the market right now. Okay, so business intelligence. What is business intelligence? Taking a decision is an intelligence. How you take a decision? By looking at the report. Okay, so if you go and search in Google what are the BI tools, you will be getting all the reporting tools. So that's the difference
Is it
between ETL and BI. Hello, yeah, tell
is
me.
Tableau connected same as ETL and BI?
Yeah, we can say it's some part of ETL it do, and BI also. Okay, and let's see some other terms. See, the combination is like if you go with any data warehousing, see ETL comes under data warehousing only, and PI comes under data warehousing only. Okay, so you choose one tool, that is fine. And apart from this, you need a combination. You need to know some basic commands of Unix. You need to know at SQL, and you should have some idea of any DB like Oracle or DB, at least one DB. Okay, and then you need to know the concepts of data warehousing. Okay, so this is only bookish one. You are not going to do anything, only bookish one, except SCD 2 and 1. Except this SCD 1 and 2, everything is bookish one. Just for interview sake, the people will ask, but in real time you will not be applying much more. So these three, you should get acquainted with these three. So your resume should have all these three. Only data stage will not suffice. You should have some Unix and some basics, at least of joins in SQL. If you are new to SQL, then it's not a problem. Even I can cope up with one or two classes with basic SQL till the extent what it is needed for you. Okay, so this is what the background of ETL and data warehousing, and you listened about the term OLTP system and OLAP system. So you're clear with this part, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So coming to the data stage installation, suppose like the data stage got installed in your machine, or there is a suppose like it's there in some server and you're accessing through the server. We have see, I'm saying only the important components which you will be working. Okay, so administrator, you're not going to touch anything. Okay, you are going to work with only designer and director. Okay, you're going to work with only designer and director. So the so the students who have joined, at least you guys know, at least select star from a table. Hello, hello.
Yes, sir. We
At
know
least
about it.
you know. Other folks, do you have some idea at least of basic idea of SQL? Select star from a table, right?
Yes.
See, what happens is like it's nothing rocket science. If you take a SQL, select star from table where ID is equal to 1. Let's break the SQL. Select from where, right? Select from where. Okay. And we want to insert in some table. So we are adding one more thing. So insert into which table, select from which table, what is the condition. So we have three logics right here. So what is data stage in the sense? For select, there is one pictorial representation or one iconic or one graphical representation. Okay. And then for applying where, there is one pictorial or graphical or iconic representation. And then what you are going to do, you are going to insert, right? And for insertion also there will be one pictorial representation. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we will keep all the functions, all the icons one after the other, and we will keep we can we will keep them in the order. So that development work we are going to do in designer. What the development is done in the designer tool. So maximum we will be using designer tool. And what purpose director is used? This director used to show the logs. So see, one task, like one thing you developed, we call it as job in data stage. Please make a note of it. What is a job? It's a task we're gonna develop, which will do something. So we'll call it a program, right? In any language we call it as a job. Here we'll be using this term job. Okay, so if you double click designer, we get the screen in this way. Okay, it's an 8.5 version. So you need to give what is the so what is your server, what is your username, what is your password, and you will be having the project allocated. Okay, and if you click OK, the designer will open, and this is the kind of screen which is happening, which will appear. See, I said select, right? So for the select purpose, this icon will be used. So instead of select, we are using a file here. And then I said about filter, right? So they'll be having one filter, and then so I said about where class, right? Where class is equal to a filter. So this filter came here, and then I'm loading into a target. So instead of target, I got one more icon. So uh, so logically, I gave the links, and then I'm going to give the properties of each icon. If you double click an icon, the properties will be open and we'll be giving each property. That's it. It's not a big deal. It's a very easy course, and you can easily cope. Like after 5 days, you're gonna start working on the things, and you can explore also. Even you guys don't need me to develop everything. You can develop and explore your own. Okay, you understood how the data stage works, right? So just I'm giving a brief overview. So what's gonna data stage and how we're gonna log in and what are the components. So these are the three main components. Just I'm quickly recapping the things: designer, director, administrator. So administrator, properties will be given. So if you go to any project, already there will be an administrator. You will be not head to an administrator role. Okay. So these properties will be given, and designer where you develop the things, and director where you can check the logs. So in designer, how you develop, for every SQL statement there will be one iconic representation, and you will be keeping the iconic representations in an order in this way, and you are going to connect with the links, and you're gonna double click on each icon and give the property. And if there is a see, if you can see here, below help, there is a building block button. So if you click that, it will compile. Okay, it will compile. And there is a play button. If you click it, it will run it. So it's a very easy tool, and you can easily access it, and it doesn't need any knowledge also before you can take a start with this. Okay. So this is what the background of data stage. I'm not going to go much more deeper, and this is where I'm gonna ending the class. Okay, are you guys clear? Any doubts?
No, sir, we don't have any doubts.
So you followed the thing?
Yes, sir.
Already got something right? So I thought of asking one question. So you listened till ending, right? So what is the difference between a database and a data warehouse? Can anyone answer? Answer. If it is wrong, also no issues.
డిజిటల్ వస్తుంది PDF ఎడిటర్ అది జస్ట్ రీడర్
What is a database and what is a data warehouse? I thought someone will ask that question.
Like where the things will be organized and kept in the like data warehouse.
See, other guys, can you please keep a mute if you're not answering? So can you repeat, man?
అనిపించకపోతే
The data which is stored and allocated in a, I mean it in an organized way.
Good. Good.
Class.
We call it as a data warehouse. Yeah, it's correct.
Yes.
And there are some more additional properties. We call it as properties of a data warehouse. Just in the coming classes, I will be teaching in detail each and every topic. So I want to give an overview how the things will be working and it make you comfortable with the tool. So that's what. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay then. Fine. Then. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm ending the call.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Ashok. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you,
sure.
sir. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, sir.
Okay.
Jason have been the line. Ashok,
Yeah, I'm there.
yeah, can I update you feedback for some time?
Can you come again? I didn't get you.
Can I update you the feedback after some time?